All right, guys, here we are. Not All About Fitness. I'm Paul Bono. This is
Angelo Cisco.
And here we are today with Nick DelGrande, Northeast regional competitor. How many times, Nick?
4 and then 5 when it was like sectionals and regionals.
And we're just going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a individual CrossFit athlete trying to make it in the CrossFit world. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick.
Got started with CrossFit in high school, and my senior year, kind of my junior year, I had no idea what I was doing, and one of my guidance counselors was involved in CrossFit, put me on like the internship like program that we had at our high school. So my senior year, I'd go into school for like 3 classes, and then I would leave and go to the CrossFit gym. Started out just twice a week and ended up going and like, I don't know, at 6 in the morning, then back at noon, then for night, and just kept going.
Became a problem.
Yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid.
Kids, that's called OCD.
To say the least. So then after that, went to school up in Maine, University of Southern Maine, and that's kind of where I continued CrossFit and learned a little bit more about myself. The first year of the 2011 regionals was the one that I didn't make it. So that was kind of like my defining year. Am I going to keep doing this or am I really not? And from that point on, I kind of stuck to it. And yeah, 4 years later, kind of here we are.
So, not bringing this up in any poor way to slander you, but you've been trying this for 4 years with hopes of making the games.
Yep.
What keeps you doing this year after year? I mean, it's definitely not the money, right? And like all these other things, because you know what I mean. It's not maybe there yet. Like, what keeps you doing this all the time, day in and day out?
It's kind of like a hard question. I mean, I guess the easy answer would be like you enjoy it. But the like more like roundabout way for me is like I'm scared, and like I'm not like, I don't know how to put this. It's kind of like something my dad like put into me like back when I was a kid and stuff. Like we grew up in a small town, not even a stoplight in our town. We owned a little corner market. Saw the same people every single day, like knew them like that. They would come in our store and they would get a coffee, a pack of cigarettes, a sandwich, and it would routine. And kind of one of the things my dad kept telling me, is don't end up like this. Don't end up like this. Don't get stuck in this town. Don't get stuck in this rut. There's nothing here. And kind of just kept doing that. So for me, it's kind of, I want to like prove to my dad that like I'm not stuck in a rut and that I'm gonna do like my own thing, and I'm not gonna be that person that goes into the store every single day, gets the same coffee, the same newspaper, yada yada. Like that's kind of what it is, and it's like it literally sometimes keeps me up at night that like that's what happens to me. It's like I'm gonna just get stuck.
At what point do you feel like you've succeeded and that you haven't got stuck in like that whole thing of you being scared that you're going to stay in the same place is gone?
I don't know if it's ever not going to be there, to be honest. It's always going to be there. You have to it's hard to kind of keep going in this. I guess the one thing that's been keeping me going is like said, I've been to regionals 4 times. First time was 23rd. Second time was 21st. A 12th, a 9th. So it's like
going the right way.
There's that progression, and it's like as the competition's getting harder, as there's more athletes, as CrossFit starts to expand, I'm still getting better. So it's like it's hard to like give that up, to be like 4 spots is all you need, and I think it was like 20 points this last year.
And how old are you?
23.
Okay.
So
I was listening to Paul's question, and then this kind of popped into my head is, what does success look like for you right now at this stage? I know you said that fire probably is not going to go out, but what does success look like for you over the next year or two?
Well, obviously this year just starts kind of with the Open, just finished. So like,
Where'd you finish?
fifth in the Northeast. Yeah,
Awesome.
I think.
Is that your
Boom,
best
baby.
Is that your best showing in the Open so far?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
However, I had 2 top 5 finishes, and all the 4 previous years, I've not had a top 10.
Oh wow.
So, and my lowest placement was higher than my lowest placement ever in any of the other regionals, and it was kind of weird that I did almost worse than last year. Last year I finished 4th, this year I finished 5th. So I thought that was kind of like weird.
I think at that point it's almost like
Just
nickels
how
and dimes, nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
But lost train of thought.
Success this year.
Success this year. So yeah, obviously it starts with opens, make regionals. Now the whole that was the main focus. It wasn't think about the games, it wasn't think about regionals. It was just think about coming in every single day and killing the Open. You know, you have to get through the Open, and I think, you know, that's a big misconception is everyone thinks, oh, you can just kind of put it off to the side and use it as a supplement. So like that. Now, for me, it's all focused on getting one of those top 5 spots at regionals. Like, that's all I want this year. You know, it's like, so one of my favorite things Ben Swiss said, it's like, no one cares when you're at the games if you finish 5th or 1st. It honestly doesn't matter. You know, so like going to the games is the goal. That will be success to me.
Okay.
And so, what do you think is keeping you from going to the games this year?
Oh boy.
Or in years past.
So, myself is the reason why, you know, I'd never put it on anyone else but myself, for the reason as to why I wouldn't make the games or as to why I haven't in the past. I think a lot this year I've really worked on is my mental aspect, and not so much as being like mentally focused in the gym, as more enjoying what I'm doing in the gym and enjoying being here, and really like focusing on like when I'm doing stuff, like to have fun with it and not put that stress of being like, okay, well, I have to snatch today, and because it's written down on my program, and if I miss it, I'm not going to make it. You know, it's like, it's okay if you feel like, you know what, it's just not there today. Move on. You know, like getting the most out of your training. So like when it comes to regionals, like last year, the very first day, the worst thing I could have done is I knew those 2 workouts were not good for me last year, the Randy and
Tommy V.
And mentally that was just in the back of my head. And you know, those 2 workouts were the reason why I didn't go to the games. I mean, the rest of the weekend, I finished top 10 in all the workouts. And so, like, going into regionals this year, it's not going to be like that. There's going to be no doubt. Like, I'm going to have, like, no doubt in every single workout that I approach that, like, it's going to be everything I have. And if I have to do single reps, if I have to crawl to the finish line because I went so hard, then so be it.
It's a good mindset.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, you just recently moved to Milford,
Yep.
and now what's a typical day like for you as being an individual athlete? Like, I think, like, we're really trying to show the side of this is, like, what you really put in to succeed in this, and I think your work ethic is never in question. So tell everybody a little bit about what a typical day is like for you, time you get up to the time you go to bed.
So usually get up around 7:30, and then I always start the day off by going outside, regardless if it's raining or not. I have a dog, an Australian Shepherd, so it's usually get up in the morning and take him out on a nice walk and everything, and kind of just, I don't even think about the gym. Don't think anything about like what I'm supposed to do here today, what I'm have to do, XYZ. You know, it's just a nice little mental relaxer to like get out there and just relax. And now that we have the ocean, it's even better. You can go walk on the beach, so that's kind of calming. Then usually get back, have breakfast around 8:30ish, some coffee, and then get to the gym anywhere from 9 to 10, depending on the day it is. And then from the moment I get here, it's having fun, but at the same time it's focus on like, okay, you're here in the gym, be present on all your lifts, like be present with what you're doing, but like I was talking about before, enjoy it still. And it starts, I don't know, from like I said 9 and goes till 3, 4, depending on some days.
Sure.
Maybe can be longer if I have a track session. Could be shorter if I'm really not feeling it. And then after that, I'll go see my girlfriend, get fixed up. She's a PT, so she will kind of, if I have any aches or pains, we'll work on that. And then go home, cook dinner. Kind of it.
It's awesome. So it's just, I mean, for lack of better, it's surrounded around fitness.
Yeah, it's all about fitness, but like the one big thing, again, like I was saying before, is like when I'm not in the gym, I'm trying not to make it about fitness. I think like that's a big thing that's helped me, is like when I would go home, I'd always be like, all right, well, I can't have this piece of chocolate because it's going to affect me tomorrow. Or I can't eat this because it's going to affect me tomorrow. Or I can't go outside and run with the dog and play fetch because it's going to hurt my shoulder and I'm going to be tired for tomorrow. It's just like, as soon as I'm gone, let go of it.
You
like
detach.
that day is done. That day is done. Anything bad, negative is out the window. You keep all the positive stuff and move on.
That's a really good thing to hear as someone that used to compete, would still like to be able to compete, because I know I've personally had those thoughts run around my own head, and I think that's the elephant in the room with competitors, is no one really ever talks about when do you turn it off, and everyone's always thinking, will this affect me? But they never want to say it because they don't want to seem like...
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, it honestly like creeps in there all the time, and it's like you're kind of like sitting there and you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that, and it's just like you kind of like get mad at yourself, or at least I do. Is I'm like, well, why am I thinking about it like
Absolutely.
that? Like I can't, like I worked my ass off for this. Like this, like if I want to enjoy something, I'm gonna enjoy it. Like, geez, like you can't be so hard on yourself. And I think that type of stress and stuff, like, affects you more almost than the workout stress itself. And if you're like constantly like, oh my god, and you're so high strung, I just, I don't think it's, at least it hasn't worked as well for me.
I think people's mentality is with that is what holds them back. Is the ones that are able to relax on throughout their training season.
Yeah.
Will keep the stress low and will perform better on game day than those that are always like, this will affect me. I can't go to the movies because I'll be sitting down and it'll close off my hips, and I have to squat tomorrow and my lower back will hurt. You know what I mean? Like, people that just live their life, do what they can do, I think that is what bodes them the best.
And I actually honestly noticed it when I was out with my friends, like one night. We were just all getting drinks and stuff, and I hadn't seen these friends in like a while because so much going on and whatnot. And all they wanted to know about was CrossFit and fitness and doing stuff. And it's just like, and like as the night went on, it was like they kept asking like the same question. Every person I went to was like, how's CrossFit going? Or, man, you look jacked. Like, I can't believe you're here drinking. And like, and that got to the point where I was just like, do I really want everyone to only talk to me about that? Or do I want to have like real conversations with these people, like about, oh, what did Stephen Curry do last night? Or like,
sure, yeah.
It's almost like you're a leopard on an island.
Yeah,
like, you're just like the odd one out all the time.
So it's like from that moment on, it was kind of like, you know what, like I need to fix something there, and like that's when like everything kind of started to change, like big time mentally for me. Is when I was like, okay, like, just let go of it a little bit and just see what happens. Like if it hurts you, then you can go back to worrying about it and stressing about it all the time. But,
so when you realized it's not all about fitness, you started doing better.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Cue that.
Bold. That's
Bold
awesome.
move, Cotton.
So when's your regional this year?
May 27th.
Last weekend in May? It's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome. Where could people follow you on social media and stuff like that, just to keep an eye on you?
Facebook, Nick DelGrande. Instagram, NJDELG.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good luck this year.
Yeah, thank
That's
you,
Nikki.
guys.
Thanks for coming.
And
we appreciate it.
we are Not All About Fitness, Q. And you can find us at www.notallaboutfitness.com. at Not All About Fitness on Instagram and Snapchat coming soon.
And get on that iTunes Live, follow us, and give us a
Like
beautiful rating because I think we deserve it.
And like it. I said, okay, what I said, I tried to say leper. I said leopard. I put a D at the end, guys. I didn't mean a spotted leopard.
Follow up to that leopard comment. I didn't think it was that weird because I thought a leopard on an island was pretty
That's
weird.
also pretty good.
So I was like, I'm going to let this slide. He's not a sick person. He's just a four-legged creature that doesn't belong on the island. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Boom. I meant both.
Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it, or watching, whatever way works better for you.
Peace.
Click on all the links anywhere they're popping up. Paul knows where they're going. Thank you. Please subscribe to all our stuff.